Hi guys, Mike with Fights of Friends. How's everybody doing? Sorry for the late start at 6:34. I thought I was streaming already, and then I realized I was, for whatever reason, I was actually recording. Mix up on the OBS. I'd been recording earlier, and I had a hotkey for recording. So instead of streaming, it was recording. So it looks like we've got 4 people in already. I have my leaderboard up right now. Some of you are watching an ad or getting an ad, it looks like, to begin with here. But we'll go ahead and jump into this. First week winner was Jason Azevedo, 1,900 points. Second week winner was all on one question, and I probably loaded that a little heavy. What's going on, Jason? Yo, yo, yo. Trotty Dog Week 2, 2,500 points. So if somebody wins the same amount of weeks, which could easily be done, because by New Year's we're going to get maybe 10 shows in, I would imagine. So two people could easily win 3 shows, so the tiebreaker will be by points, and that's why this is on here. Number 1 is Trotty Dog. Jason, you're actually tied for second with Robert Christian, 2,000. And we have a 3-way tie for 4th place. The Dutch guy, Bruins 498, and John Lucero. And then DG with 900 points. And in 7th, 700, Gabriel with 700 points. And that's as far as I ended up going, was 7 points. We'll give people a little bit of time to get in here. It looks like there's 5 people watching. I want to see, what does everybody think? Not much, man. How you doing, 7? I'm doing good, man. Let me get back to the camera here. We looked at the reader board, or leaderboard, I should say. Jason could pull ahead by week 2. Somebody could tie him, or Trotty Dog could come back. I'm not sure. That's not somebody I remember being here before. But they may have been here before, so I'm not positive. I'm doing good, man. I think I got some really tough questions this week. And I didn't make it as lopsided at the end. So one person shouldn't be able to blow the whole thing with one question. You could. There's only one really gimme question. You have a good meal today. Hey, I had eggs, broccoli, and peppers. That's all I had today. So yeah, actually I did pretty good. I had 3 eggs, half a bell pepper, 2 broccoli crowns, and I'm drinking coffee and water. I did have a little sweetener on my coffee. I threw like a little bit of cocoa in there. But other than that, no, good day. I was off today, so it's easier when I don't leave and I don't forget to pack my lunch or something. But Jason, you're on the keto. I'm trying. I'm not completely going keto, I guess, because I think you can have cocoa on keto. I was looking at it. The one thing about the keto that I'm a little leery about till they have more data on it is that they want you to have your calories from about 70% fat. And I'm kind of leaning a little more towards the protein. At least as much protein, many grams of protein as fat. So maybe more like a paleo. But drinking a ton of water. I don't remember who it was that was telling me to download the DDP yoga, but I went ahead and did that. I really like it. I'm enjoying it. It's pretty sweet. So I do like it. Tonight's trivia, we had some complaints. younger people better get in here, that being JT, because he had complained about me not having, stuff for a younger crowd. So here we go. Tonight's trivia is 10 years of UFC. Everything. What's up, Blurry Vision? Thank you so much for the donation, sir. $2 donation from Blurry Vision. Thank you very much, sir. What's up, Mario Yamasaki? Good, I'm glad you came in. Oh, hell yeah, you got to get the DDP. You won't regret it. Yeah, I downloaded it. I got into it a little bit. I haven't gotten totally into it yet. I was just kind of watching some of it today. I've been doing yoga and stretching before work and stuff. It definitely helps with my back pain. So, dang kid, forgot my cheese. What's up, DG? You were on that leaderboard, man. I was just putting the leaderboard up here a minute ago. I'll just read it out now. Whoever wins the most weeks, that will be the winner. But since we're probably only going to get maybe 10 weeks by New Year's Day, by the end of the year, if there's a tie, which there easily could be, like 3 games to 3, we're going to go to points. So you got Trotty Dog with 2,500 points. Well, you got Jason Azevedo to start out with, winning week 1 with 1,900 points. So he's got 1 week under his belt. Trotty Dog, 1 week 2, 2,500 points. And then the overall point standing, you got Trotty Dog with 2,500 points. Jason Azevedo tied with Robert Christian for 2,000. Then you got a 3-way lead. Below that for 4th between Dutch Guy, Bruins 498, and John Lucero at 1,000 points. DGU right behind him with 900 points. And then you have 700 Gabriel at 700 points. And that's as far as I went down, is the 7. Man, may the best man win. Age is not on my side. JT, I purposely made this. I made this for you. Because you were complaining about things that I know it's 10 years worth, and I actually did a lot of questions. What's up, Blurry Vision, with the donation again? Thank you, sir. Age is just a number. Hey, if you got Fight Pass now, you can go back and you can look at those. You can watch those old fights. You can study up. So Jason, oh, okay, this is sweet. Hopefully I'm not too late. You're not. I was waiting. You guys are just in time. I was waiting a few minutes for everybody to get in. I have not even did the first question. So thank you very much so far for the donations. I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. I am Who Cares. Still always have a good time. Yeah, no, I hear you, man. No, I definitely did some stuff as late as 2016. So let's go ahead and get back into it. The first one is the only one that I would say is easy on here, and this is going to be this is really going to be a gimme. This basically, whoever can type this in the fastest is going to be the one that gets this one, and that's the only gimme. I wanted to do this though just because I thought it would be funny. So let's go with the first question. What's up, RS? Just in time, sir. We were just going through the leaderboard. So this first question, like I said, is the only super easy one. This is ridiculously easy. Basically, whoever can type in first, and there is a Ryan Bader question on here, RS, tonight, or at least he's involved in this. Whoever can type it in first will most likely get it. DG, what's up? Pleasure talking MMA with others who actually enjoy it. Seems like many hate on the sport still. I hear you, man. I hope it gets a lot more popular under ESPN. People, they follow trends. So a lot of people just follow what's ever popular. So here's the first question. And you guys are all going to know this probably. It's whoever types it in first. So question number 1, this is going to be the lowest points of the night, 300 points. This fighter became more famous recently when he told Joe Rogan his balls were hot. What's up, 700 Gabriel? Seven, Floyd Mayweather. Derek Lewis, unemployed Mario Yamasaki. He gets it. Good job, sir. $300 points. Damn, y'all are fast, dude. I have it first. What's that? Oh, nope. He beat you by maybe just a few seconds. Unemployed Marinasami was right before you, Aaron True. What's going up, Aaron True? You guys were very close. You guys had it close. 700 Gabriel, you're right in there on the points too. What's up, Pulse Reloaded? What's up, everybody? I'm glad everybody's in here now. Whoa, had it first. So I'm gonna check your chat. My chat. Does anybody else have this? I have. It shows unemployed Mario Yamasaki, Derek Lewis at 645, and then I have Aaron True right underneath it. Derek Lewis, 645. Yes, I can raise the volume. Let's raise the volume. All right. So Mario got it. Thank you, JT. Yeah, that was very close, though. You and Sho Yamasaki. Jason says mine. Next question. All right, let's get down to the next question. Like I said, these should be a lot harder starting now. This one not super hard, but my chat had me first in comments saying Floyd, then him saying it rigged. All right, you rock the big old man bush like Rick on Walking Dead. Oh, thank you, 700. All right, question number 2. This former heavyweight champion would regain his belt after losing it in the first ever UFC on Fox. JT Cain Velasquez. You got it, sir. That is worth 500 points. I'm just typing in everybody's name on them as they get them. Damn, I even put the full name. You got it. Robert True. Just in all honesty, just to show that I'm on the up and up, I'll show you what my chat says. Here, let me go back to it on my computer. Because I don't want to be there to be any questions. I'm not sure what yours says, but I'm going to show you what mine says. So it'll take me just a second to get to the display capture. I don't want there to be any questions. It sounds like, Aaron True, like yours might actually say differently than some of the rest of ours. I've never heard of that, but I don't doubt you. So here is my screen. Look at Aaron True. Oh, I took a screenshot. I'll email it to you. What's your email? It's Fights with Friends. I was at that fight actually, and I got it wrong. So here it is right here. 7 had Floyd Mayweather. Then you got unemployed Mario Yamasaki with Derek Lewis. And then you have you just almost at the same time with Derek Lewis, RS right after. You guys were all within the same minute. So that's what everybody's got. That's what we've seen. I mean, you can send me your screenshot. But that's what I got, man. Sorry, that's the best I can do. Is what YouTube gives me. So we got JT in front with 500 points. We got Mario Yamasaki with 300 points. Was everybody able to see that? When it came up. Did you see that, Aaron? All right, let's go into the next question. Thank you, RS, for speeding things along. Next question, number 3 is, this YouTube cartoon character made some of the most famous MMA cartoons in recent years, earning him a cameo on UFC on Fox. Oh. Thank you. Whoa. All right. Thank you, RS. JT says Tommy Toehold. They got this new transition button on OBS that I forgot to hit, and I thought I was back on the screen. So thank you. Thank you for the honesty there. Looks like JT was just slightly first. Mario and was next, and then Aaron DG, but JT got that one. That was worth 800 points. So, JT, you are in the lead with 1,300. Let's see if anybody can come back against JT. We're still very early in this. This is Cartman. Thank you, RS. I appreciate it. Well, my chat had me first by far. I don't know what to tell you. I can only see what's on my screen, man. Sorry. Let's go. Thank you. All right. This one actually worth a few hundred points less. This is a 600-point win. This female fighter fought Ronda Rousey in the UFC's first ever female bout. Was not Miesha Tate. Camacho, that's... You're darn close. JT, Liz Carmouche. Camacho is a boxer. Sorry, I think you probably were trying to say Carmouche, but that's just not close enough, I don't think. JT, it looks like I'm going to double check and make sure anybody didn't have it first on mine. It's Liz Carmouche. Sarah McMahon, some good... those were all people that fought Ronda. So you guys had it. So that's another 600 points for JT. Maybe try refreshing your browser, Aaron True. I don't know what else to say. I've never heard of anything like that. JT, you might go in overall lead for points at the rate you're going, too. 1,900 points through 4 questions for GT. Damn, you're tearing it up, man. Buy a new computer. Oh, jeez. I see you. All right, have a good one, Aaron True. I don't know what to tell you, man. What's up, TJM? The T is here. All right. Let's get down to the next question. Number 5. In this fight night, Anderson Silva would taste the waters at 205 for the first time against this opponent known as the Sandman. Not like that, chat. For my chat, whoever else sees it, tell us and let's go. Irvin, DG, that's Irvin. DG's got it. Great job, sir. And DG has quite a few points coming into this one, too. I think you have 900 altogether from the last one. It was 900 or 1,000. I have to look at the reader board. I have it on a reader board here. But 800 points, putting a dent in JT's lead here. Had full name. I know you had, and you were trying to type in full name. I should specify that again for speed. Like on Jeopardy, if you have, I was machine gunning one of my favorite fighters back then. That was one of young David's favorite fighters for a while too. You remember that, David, the Sandman, James Irvin? Years back. But yeah, one of his. So just like on Jeopardy, if you get the last name, and maybe we should make it. Silva doesn't count. No, any last name. There's a lot of Silvas, but just like Jeopardy. So for speed's sake, I'd say just put the last name in. Was he the British guy who robbed a bank? No, I don't think so. But well, I'm just going by what Jeopardy says, young David. Yeah, young David's trying to help the rules here. I gotta remember this one. I forgot to put down the points on it, so I had to figure out how many points it's worth. Okay, this next one's gonna be worth 1,000 points. Oh, that's the guy who robbed the. Oh, James Murray. Oh, I got a trivia question. First Mexican heavyweight champion in combat sports. I'm thinking of a name and I cannot, or I'm thinking of a face, I cannot think of a name. What's up, Super Toxie 1? No, there was a Mexican boxing champion way before that, though. Ronda Rousey. Kane. All right. Pulse Resurrected. I'm going to go ahead with the next question. I don't know it, man. First Mexican heavyweight champion and Julio Cesar. I don't think it was Julio Cesar. There was somebody before Julio Cesar Chavez. Somebody even before Roberto Duran. John Ruiz. Oh yeah, he was the first heavyweight champion. Why didn't I think of that? As Roy Jones Jr. beat him to win the heavyweight championship. Good question, though. Is that moonshine heavyweight? Yeah, I wasn't thinking of heavyweight. I don't know why. No, it's water. I gave up on getting up to continue to get bottles of water. I'm like, I'm just going to take a half gallon when my voice gets parched. Let's head into the next question here, though, number 6. We're already getting to halfway through the questions here. Number 6, this gritty Ultimate Fighter winner would headline his first event against Josh Neer in a lightweight war that was Fight of the Night. Another tough winner, Matt Danzig, would take on popular Clay Guida that same night. So it's lightweight. Damn, JT is on fire. Super Toxie, you were right behind him. I thought it was going to take a little longer for you guys to get that one. I actually thought I might have to give you some clues. You guys are on it. JT putting on a widening lead. And I believe, JT, you're either, I'd have to add them up right now, but I believe you're either tied or in the overall lead for points for all 3 weeks now. Yep, way back. TGN says he's cheating. I don't know how he would cheat. Yep, what's up, Border Fox 32? How you doing? I'm on PEDs. I like it. I have not talked to JT, I promise you. I did go to the trophy place today though and talk to him though. Thought was but hesitated. Shouldn't have thrown it out there anyways. Oh, Google trivia. You sort of got me. Border Fox. That's the thing. It's like I told everybody at the beginning. It's like if you know it off the top of your head, you're probably going to be able to get it quicker than somebody Googling it. But honestly, I can't stop anyone from Googling it. So if there's 9 people that are not Googling it, and I tell you guys not to, there's going to be one person Googling and just killing everybody. So I would just Google it. If you want, I'm good, man. In cohorts with that's true. Unless you know it immediately. It's just too hard to govern. All right, let's get in to the next question. Number 7. 2 of John Jones' toughest foes fought it out for the light heavyweight belt in this 5-round main event. The decision is still hotly contested to this day. So both names. 2 of John Jones' toughest foes fought it out for the light heavyweight belt in this 5-round main event. The decision is still hotly contested to this day. DC and Gus, 7 had it. Let me go back and make sure nobody had it first. I believe 7 had it first, though. Gustafson and DC. That's going to be 7 on the board. With 800 points. I'm half asleep. It's 3 in the morning here in Ireland. Well, thanks for tuning in Ireland, Border Fox. I really appreciate it. That means a lot, sir. You guys are dedicated. And just in case you are a Conor McGregor fan, there is a question with some Conor McGregor in here. I first thought Gus, Lyoto, and Vitor when you mentioned toughest opponents. But hotly contested, yeah. But that's definitely the most hotly contested decision, though. Gustafson's been in probably the 2 most highly contested decisions in the light heavyweight division. Portugal, it's 3 a.m. too. Man, you guys are awesome. I love you guys. Let's get into the next one. Conor McGregor faced this tough Brazilian when he fought in front of his hometown crowd in Dublin, Ireland, in the main event O2 Arena. This event would also feature up-and-comer Gunnar Nelson. JT's got it. What? Did you hack my computer, JT? I think JT has hacked my computer. RS had it very quickly, though. I'm almost wondering if RS, if it didn't go through as quickly as because you're in Portugal. I have no way to know how long it takes to get around the world. But damn for fucks, you were very close. I can't believe how quickly you guys are getting some of these, though. I really thought I made these ones fairly hard. So JT again. JT is most certainly in first place as far as points after this overall. But there are still enough points on the board to get to beat him. The next questions on number 9, the next one's worth 1,000. 10 and 11 are worth 1,500 each, and number 12 is worth 2,000. So somebody could definitely come back. I just some machine gun names, and I watch a lot of UFC because I grew up in some sketchy places where you chill inside. I hear you. Oh, 16. Oh, damn. I didn't realize you were that young. I knew you were pretty young. I thought you were like 18 or 19. So, but that's why I tried to have some, really, and you know all that about MMA. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, he's a fighter as well. So, you end up studying. But, yeah, that was super quick. All right, let's go to number 9. This one's worth 1,000 points. On a card that featured Diego Sanchez and Beneil Dariush, this former champion took on the up-and-comer who goes by El Cucuy in the main event in Mexico City, Mexico. Was not there. JT, damn. No, I just put it in when I called you, so it's gonna be a little while, probably about 45 minutes.
Okay, it's poison. So I'll make sure.
Okay. Did 7 get it? Let me go back. I've had to go back in the past and seen that I was wrong. I see Lando Venata. It's not Lando Venata. And then I see RDA. I don't see 7 getting RDA before JT. It is RDA, and then RS had it. Who won? Did Ferguson beat RDA? JT got it. Thank you, Mario. I believe Ferguson beat RDA in that one. Yes, I'm pretty sure. Yep, Ferguson. Already had the answer before you asked. Ferguson. Oh, I'm tripping. What's up, Alex? 17 people in here. All right, you guys have to be quick to get JT there. Holy crap, man! I think JT he can't answer for the last 3 questions. Give somebody else a chance to catch up. No. Okay. So this one, just do your best. You're going to get a little bit of a clue. This last name, you're not going to be able to spell it right. So maybe try to get the first one in there, but it's not an easy one. I love boxing, but I lose in trivia. Ferguson, Anki won the title when he beat Kevin Lee. This is true. I'm glad these aren't ancient questions. JT's in your living room. No, he is not Border Fox 32, but I'm starting to wonder if he hacked my computer. JT actually lives, I believe, I'm not going to say where he lives, but he told me before, he's about 30 miles from me, 20 to 30 miles. So here is the next question, number 10. Joanna Jędrzejczyk would take on this tough girl with the hard-to-pronounce name on the same card that Conor McGregor would become the first fighter ever to simultaneously hold belts in 2 different weight classes. It is not Carla. It is not Rose Namajunas. Is there any questions regarding the GOAT bitch Correia? Not yet. Alex Stancato, Carolina. I'm going to give you Carolina because the last name is, I cannot even pronounce it myself. It's Kowachowicz. I believe that's how you say it, is Kowachowicz. But it's ridiculous. So Alex Stancato, that one's yours, sir. 1,500 pointer too. DG got it first. Wait. Let me look back. I stand corrected. DG got it first. I missed that one. Thank you very much, guys. These come through so quickly. Sorry, Alex. Actually, DG had it first and spelled the first name correctly as well. And didn't even say anything. Didn't even complain. DG's already got some points up on the board from other games, too. I think he was already at about 1,000. So, thank you, RS, for being on top of that. I had to go back. I didn't think I didn't think I had to go back that far, but I didn't go back far enough. Mike, you must just had a Steve Harvey moment. Yes, I did. I just stiffed you, Alex. Now I got it just spelled with C and not K. Yeah, it actually is spelled with K, but I would have given it either way. Yeah, her name is her last name is Kowalkiewicz. I believe that's Kowalkiewicz. Something close to that.
Bless you.
Yeah.
After saying that name.
Yeah, my wife says bless you. All right, let's get into the next question here. Number 11, this is going to be worth 1,500 points. We're getting near the end here. Oh, by the way, just for a second, if I didn't say earlier, I contacted a local trophy place by us. The trophy is going to be 12 inches high. They're going to be able to do that easily. It's going to have the Fights with Friends logo on the top. Then it's a 3-tier trophy in the center. It will say Fights with Friends MMA Trivia Season 1 Champion. And then I'll have your name engraved on it on the bottom after that. They said once we have a winner, they'll have it ready in less than a week, and then I'll have it shipped out to the winner. Bring David here. Haven't seen his face in a while. David, come say hi. He didn't want to play. He said, why was it you said you didn't want to play, David? David didn't want to take points away from anybody. He makes like a quick cameo. It's like the quickest cameo ever. But he is still alive. Should be $1 million replica UFC belt. I'm poor, guys. Let me tell you, man, I need to take TRT to die faster. Will there be interim trophies also? There will not be interim trophies, no. Did anyone here see John Jones' interview today? I seen parts of it. I just seen some highlights. I think it's like a 32-minute video. So I'm going to sit down and watch it a little later. David Shook, no, just kidding. Reigning defending undisputed MMA Trivia Champion of the world. You can only ship 10-inch trophies to Ireland. Really? John Jones is a jackass. I did see the point where he was saying that USADA doesn't make mistakes and don't argue with science. He just sounded like a fool. I'm more convinced that he's guilty of something, let's say, after the interview than I was before the interview. I'm definitely much less likely to give him the benefit of the doubt after that interview. Then don't win, Border Fox. Then don't win, Border Fox. It was a joke? Okay. I thought you were serious. I thought there was maybe a law about sending 10-inch things to Ireland. I was like, what in the heck? Who was the interview with, Jason? Who's winning? JT is winning by a landslide. But you guys can definitely catch up. With only 2 questions to go, let's add up a few of these. I'm going to add up JT first, since that'll be easiest. He's got the most points. This is ridiculous. JT, 2,900, 3,900. JT has 4,900 points. If this comes down to a tiebreaker with the points, this is a crazy week for him. He's lying. You can't catch up. Only kidding. You could catch up because these DG definitely could. These last 2 questions are worth 3,500 just on their own. Let's go through. Mario, you got that first one for 300. I think that was last year. DG got the 800, and I'm going back through 1500. So DG has 2300. And we'll go through the points at the end, and I'll post something. I'll post them again at the beginning. DG back off. What was DG saying? Oh, back off. Oh, so you can win. I see you. Participation award. If you win, JT, in the living, you can catch up. Hey, Mike, just send the trophy to my house. We all know who's going to win these. That's all the way in Portugal. The one thing, and the one easy thing about it, if JT wins this, I could literally deliver it to his house, and if he didn't want me to know where he lives, I could drive it over to his dojo. That would be easier than actually sending it out.
Cheaper.
So like I said, I think it's about 30 miles. Definitely cheaper. All right, here we go. Here's number 11. This event featured a UFC Hall of Famer taking on one of his students from The Ultimate Fighter, a filthy fighter taking on an up-and-coming Canadian, and a former WWE standout taking on a legend for the heavyweight title. We're looking for the number of the UFC. Oh, you better refresh, RS. Did my screen freeze? Did I lose my internet? Can you guys hear me? Oh, no, people are still going. Oh, you work with him? I do not work with him. I've never met JT personally. He just told me where he lived and where he kicked boxes. And I know that it's about 30 miles from us, maybe 40. It's fine now. Okay. UFC. I got UFC 99. No, 200. UFC 70. All right. Let me try to read this again. I don't know if I'm explaining it real well. I tried to make these last two very hard, though. This event featured a UFC Hall of Famer. These are all separate things, too. A UFC Hall of Famer taking on one of his students, so somebody that he coached in The Ultimate Fighter. A filthy fighter, so that's his nickname. A filthy fighter taking on an up-and-coming Canadian. And a former WWE standout taking on a legend for the heavyweight title. It is not UFC 91. This is a very memorable UFC once you guys get this. And I remember exactly who I was with. We were actually over at Kathy's house, honey. Over at Kathy's and Jay's for this one. The fighter is Brock Lesnar. It is not UFC 100, though. We're looking for the UFC number. 89, UFC 100. Nope, 92. 88. You guys were getting closer till 92. Then you're getting further away. 87. Couture versus Brock. Nope. UFC 97. Nope. So now let me read this. It says a former WWE standout taking on a legend for the heavyweight title. That doesn't say who the champion was coming into the UFC. It just says that they were taking them on for the heavyweight title. Brock Lesnar is the WWE fighter, of course, that I'm talking about. UFC 226. No, that's quite a ways ahead. USADA is going to test you guys for cheating. Well, JT has not gotten this one. 110. I'm glad to get one that really stumps you guys after being so surprised that you guys were able to get the other one so easily. It is not UFC 91. RS, it is not 102. I was at 102, though. 102 was in Portland. It had Randy Couture versus Minotauro Nogueira. A lot of Portland fighters on that one. Chris Lieben fought on that. and Ed Herman out of Portland. It's not 91. UFC 121. Mario gets it. Great job, Mario. UFC 121. And I'll tell you, I didn't even know the answer to all these. The way I ended up writing my questions today is I was on Fight Pass, and I just went through years. I was trying to get things that, you know, that were somewhat more current from 2008 up till now. And I just tried to go through and pick through UFCs and events. Mario had already got it at 121, though. Mario Yamasaki was a ref that night. He probably was. Yeah. Oh, and it was Lesnar Kane. Yes, RS. Was when Kane destroyed Brock Lesnar. Was also one a night where Tito Ortiz was humiliated losing to Matt Hamill. I thought he would retire then. And that was just years ago. I must have been a bit tipsy that night, Mario. Well, you got it, sir. Let me award the points here real quick to the proper player. All right, Mario definitely can catch JT. And remember, since this one, 2000, this is tied for the second most points out of any questions we've had in all three events. So the winner in points coming into this event had 2,000. So this would put you up a ways on the leaderboard as far as points. Mark Coleman versus Dan the Beast Severn. That was a good. The Filthy fighter was Filthy Tom Lawler. You asked me for the number, though, right? Yes. Let's keep the ball rolling. Next question. Well, I got to get my minutes out of this. This is the last question. What do you guys think about Sage Northcutt being cut from the UFC? No, we'll get into it. Here we go for 2,000 points. Number 12. This UFC event featured current PFL. So PFL, Premier Professional Fight League, that we've been paying attention to this year. This UFC event featured current PFL tournament participants Efren Escudera versus Felipe Nover, and also PFL challenger Vinny Magalhães taking on current Bellator standout Ryan Bader. Yeah, very weird he was cut. So, RS, you should get this one. Ryan Bader was on this one. Let me read it again. This UFC event featured current PFL tournament participants Efren Escudera, who was an Ultimate Fighter winner, by the way, Felipe Nover, and also PFL challenger Vinny Magalhães, who's the #1 seed to win $1 million on New Year's Eve. He was taking on current Bellator standout Ryan Bader. DG, it was not tough. Oh my God, JT. Did somebody get tough 8 before JT? RS said tough finale. It was a tough finale. Some people had tough finale in there, but I was looking for the number of the tough finale. Super Toxie had it almost at exactly the same time. Yeah, that's tough, RS. I tried to get really tough on those last ones, but you guys were very knowledgeable just to even know that was a Ultimate Fighter finale. Vinny Magalhães. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Cuck Norris shows up in time to correct me. Now, what's up, Cuck Norris? All right, so JT with 2,000 points there. So let's give it to JT. definitely the big winner of the night. Death once had a near Chuck experience. Yes, they did. Yes, he did. And let's bring up the leaderboard from tonight. I'm going to bring this up and just show it to you guys. What I have here, now that everybody's names is by it. I'll have to update the full standings, but JT's definitely going to be ahead in points. That doesn't mean anything, though, unless there's a tie on weeks 1. So Jason's won 1 week. JT has won 1 week. And what was it? Week 2 winner, I'm trying to remember, was Trotty Dog with the 2,500 points. Before going to bed, the boogeyman always checks his closet for Chuck Norris. I did not know that off the top of my head. Hey, have you guys heard of the Yes Theory? They are awesome YouTube channel. You have to check it out. I'm always looking for more cool things to check out on YouTube, so I probably will definitely check it out. But here is the tallies for tonight. Mario Yamasaki started on the board with 300 points. That, like I said, probably the easiest one, but Mario had more after that. Then JT went on a run here. 500 points, 800. That put him at 1,300. Another 600, 1,900 points. DG comes in with a 800 here. JT again with 1,000. I believe that put you at 29. I'm almost losing track here. 7 with 800. JT with another one going up to 3,900. 4,900 with the El Kukui, I believe, here. DG again with a big 1,500 one there, though. Mario Yamasaki gets a 1,500. JT gets the 2,000. I practically lost track of the points there, but I'll have them up on the board next time. JT is just to show you that I am keeping track. So this was, let's go ahead and update this for week 3. I'll have to re-add your points again, JT. I don't know if I can count that high. So Jason, week 1 winner was 1,900 points. Trotty Dog was week 2, 2,500 points. And then JT points are still being counted. And that was the overall point standing before tonight. I just did the top 7. Dutch guy wasn't here tonight, but a lot of you other guys were. I kind of thought Robert Christian might be in here tonight too. Chuck Norris went skydiving and his parachute failed to open, so he took it back the next day for a refund. Oh, jeez. Who would win in a fight? Van Dam. Oh, Chuck Norris would destroy him. Chuck Norris was completely legit. He was like an undefeated world championship karate champion, I believe, for like 6 years before he retired. Yeah, totally legit. Chuck Norris played Russian roulette with a fully loaded gun and won. Chuck is so scary he scared a guy a gay man straight. That is comment of the night. 700 Gabriel. We've been waiting for it. Comment of the night is Chuck Norris is so scary he scared a gay man straight. That is the best Chuck Norris joke I think that I've heard. Chuck Norris threw a grenade and killed 50 people, then it exploded. That's pretty good too. What's up, comedic genius? You're late. The game's over. Who would win, Clubber Lang versus Ivan Drago? I don't know, but I'm kind of curious if they're going to pull a Clubber Lang type character into this after this. Has anybody else seen Creed 2, by the way? Me and the wife and kids all went out and seen it. Was it 2 nights ago, honey? We saw it on Friday. I ought to count my days. So like 4 days ago, I guess. I lose track of days. Anyways, it was very good. We all agreed it was very good. My wife and the kids. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So if you're gonna only see a couple movies a year, which I think most people, if they do go out to the theater anymore, you're probably like 1 to 3 movies a year. I think that's definitely worth it. I'd beat them all. Google my name, Porter Fox 32. Oh, that's great. I will do that after this. Clark Kent had to call himself Superman because Chuck Norris was already taken. That's pretty good. Just sent me a trophy because I'm not cheating. 700 Gabriel. You got some out here, 700 Gabriel. You are going to be second. I know you're going to be second on the points leaderboard after this. And I'll be honest, I don't know how he would cheat, guys. He was just slightly quicker on a lot of them than some other people. When the Hulk gets real angry, he turns into Chuck Norris. That's a pretty good one, too. Out of here, Gabriel. Oh, jeez. All right, but yeah, I am very surprised by Sage Northcutt being cut. And I do want to talk about that for a minute. And where he's probably going after this. I know he had talked about doing some YouTube things when they were making the money. Was it Paul Logan? I think he's been in 2 fights now. Was that Paul Logan both times? He fought another YouTuber. I can't remember the YouTuber's name, but like 800,000 buys at $10 a pop and sold out one of the largest stadiums in England. I mean, that's insane. And I mean, Sage, he's got the looks that he could act. He's got the athleticism that he could probably do a lot of stuff in Hollywood. And the kid's got a lot of options. I'm sure he's feeling down right now. Not that he'll answer me. I don't know that he'll answer me, but I did reach out to him and messaged him, and I reached out trying to get a hold of his people. I don't know if he has any people now. Maybe the people were in the UFC. I'm not sure, but he's still got a lot of people he's training with. And sometimes this has worked before on here. A couple of you guys have known MMA fighters. If anybody out there knows Sage Northcutt or anybody around him, let him know I'm trying to get a hold of him to get him on the show. I'd love to talk to him about what's going on. Give him a chance to come on here and talk about what happened there. That the UFC didn't re-sign him. I imagine it was probably something with contract negotiations, but Dana didn't go into any detail. So I was pretty surprised. Me and John Jones just chilling here being innocent. Oh, geez. Weird Sage was cut. Yeah, I thought it was super weird. Chuck Norris trained in BJJ, too. Yeah, he did. So did Chuck. I mean, Bruce. Chuck and Bruce both trained in BJJ. Me and young David just watched Enter the Dragon. I think that was 2 nights ago. Me and young David and my daughter, we all watched Enter the Dragon. He wrote all those fight scenes. Like, anybody who doesn't think that Bruce Lee, especially having other people to train with, couldn't have competed in the UFC, I think you're 100% wrong. Especially if he would have competed in the first UFC. I'd love to see him fight Royce Gracie. Just with the training he had, the training Royce had, first UFC, Bruce comes out. I think he would have gave some people some massive troubles. I thought if he just kept rising slowly and stuck with lower level UFC fighters for a bit, it would be good. You know, Zach Otto, he's not the top of the food chain, but, you know, I knew his name. Second round knockout, that was his last win there in Boise. I was cage side. I was just a few feet away from Sage. I got a couple pictures of him, but I don't know why those guys, I was trying to shake his hand or trying to get in there to get a selfie with him and with Junior Dos Santos when we were there, and the UFC guys, it was either the UFC guys or the Boise Arena security. They were whisking them away and steering them away from the fans. It was probably Boise Stadium, honestly, now that I think about it, which was really irritated me because you could tell both fighters wanted to come over more and interact with the fans. JDS pushed himself in there a little further because, I mean, who's going to move that guy? If Sage wants to make some noise, he needs to date Ariana Grande. That would be a power couple. I wonder if he was asking for a little too much. That's what I was thinking. Breaking news: Golden Boy promotion. Tank Abbott versus Hoist Gracie, $50. That is very close to comment of the night, Community Genius. That is almost a tie. That is good, sir. Bruce Lee had an impressive sidekick. Yeah, he did. Oh, you're just watching him. Today's Bruce Lee's birthday. Is it seriously? When was Bruce Lee born?
Bruce Lee was born November 27th, 1940.
Yeah. I did not know that. I should have done something special for the Dragon's birthday. And I was actually one or Bellator will want him. Oh, they're after him quickly. And I have a feeling he's already talked to the guys in 1FC because he said that he was considering moving to Singapore. If you're considering moving to Singapore, you're moving to Singapore. I would say that the best bet is if the UFC doesn't do a 360 and somehow get him to turn around, eventually he ends up over there at 1FC. But I think he would be competitive in Bellator as well. Bruce Lee was all about fitness and training. I heard he would not stop working out even when he was chilling in the living room. And he only slept like 2 hours a day. It was crazy. Who would want to fight, Frank Shamrock or Hoist Gracie? I'm not sure. I don't think they ended up fighting. Of course, Hoist beat Ken the first time. And then I believe Ken would have won the second one. But that was after they had instilled sort of a time limit. But there was no judges. So if you went the time limit, it was a draw. And there was a lot of stalemates in it. But if you were to judge that fight, you would have gave it to Ken. But there was no judging yet in the UFC, so it went down as a draw. Mr. T once beat Chuck Norris in tic-tac-toe, so in return, Chuck created... Oh, my God, JT. Oh, wow, it was meant to be. That would have been a good question. Yeah, I should have done some Bruce Lee. And that's funny. I was looking at the anniversaries of different movies just a couple nights ago because I was thinking we should have a movie companion. And it would be... I think the only way it would really be fun is if you watched one of the really old cheesy ones like Fists of Fury and Chinese Connection. The dubbing and everything. It's like there's some good fight scenes, but... those two movies, as much as I love Bruce Lee, just do not hold up at all, but they are hilarious to watch nowadays. So that would be kind of fun to have like a movie companion instead of a fight companion, and we could all comment. Chuck Norris can never fill out an online form because he could never submit. That's a good one too. Bruce Lee stopped Chuck Norris by ripping out his pubes. Oh, God. I believe that. Chuck Norris is reading all these jokes and thinking to himself, they make me sound like a pussy. When Chuck Norris goes to sleep, he checks the closet for Bruce Lee. I know you're a little further than me from Seattle. I think about 30 miles, JT. But have you been to Bruce Lee's grave in Seattle? That's something I've meant to do over the years, being close to Seattle, and for some reason I just never, I keep forgetting or something. I never have done it. But I would like to go just for the, just to say I went just for the experience. Back in the late 60s and early 70s, one of my great uncles was a student of Bruce Lee's and even became a bodyguard for Elvis when he filmed some movies in Hawaii. No BS. Oh, that's sweet. It would have been awesome if UFC 1 would have included Bruce. Yeah, he was born in 1940. The first UFC. So he would have been about Chuck's age that he fought Tito. He definitely could have fought. Or, if you want to be nicer, Bernard Hopkins fought to almost that age. He'd be 53 in the first UFC. So just slightly older. But Bernard's last fight was either at 49 or 50. Roy Jones just had his last fight. He's going to turn 50, I believe, in January. Golden Boy Keith Hackney, too. Oh, my God. I'd love to see his grave. It's right here in our state, but I never have. Yeah, it's just south of us in Seattle. I know there's a tour. You'd have to look it up. I can't remember the name of it. But there is a tour that will take you to several different sites in Seattle. I think it's like one of the recording studios where a lot of great things were recorded. Some Kurt Cobain, Alice in Chains things. They take you to Bruce Lee's grave, and they take you... I think they might take you to Jimi Hendrix's grave. They take you to something with Jimi Hendrix. And a couple other cool things in here, Seattle. I'm going to have to hopefully check it out this summer. Mike, how do you think Bruce Lee would have done if he fought the competition from UFC 1? I think he would have done very well. Being that he would have been 53, he still would have beaten some of those guys, no doubt. Even at 53, he still would have beaten some of those guys. I don't think he beats a 27-year-old Royce Gracie at 53. But a 27-year-old Bruce Lee versus a 27-year-old Royce Gracie, I would really like to see that. Bernard Hopkins, Randy Couture, and others have great longevity. Yeah, Bernard Hopkins and Randy Couture both had super late starts, which helped them. Randy Couture's first fight, I believe, was like at either 29 or 30. Bernard Hopkins was around, I think he was 28. I want to say he was 28. He was in his late 20s. He'd just gotten out of prison. I remember the first time I watched him fight on USA Tuesday Night Fights. He was 7-1. I believe he lost his first ever match and then won, I don't know, a ridiculous amount of fights after that. That and a guy that nobody will probably remember. He might come up in a boxing trivia question in the future. Charles the Hatchet Brewer. But anybody that watched USA Tuesday Night Fights back in the day, he was another middleweight, exciting middleweight to watch. One of those guys who just never quite won a championship. I think Khabib would destroy Bruce Lee. Bruce would definitely have trouble with Khabib's style. But I think Khabib would have matched up very well against Conor. I think that would have been a very interesting match. Bruce probably would have killed somebody in UFC 1, literally. Well, you had all the rules. Here's the thing. That stomp, he practiced that stomp like he did in the movies where he would stomp on people's chest. When you had the rules, and you could literally stomp on people's faces and on their heads, just like you could in Pride, like if he would have fought in Pride. It would have been interesting to see. I don't know how many of guys he would have beaten. I think a matchup between him and Ken Shamrock would have also been very interesting. Not many fighters can stay competitive that long. It's one reason I still can somewhat respect Overeem, even though he was a juice head for a long time, Overroyd. That's one of the things people don't think about with Roy Jones. Like I said, Bernard Hopkins and Randy Couture both started very, very late in their careers. Tito had a lot of years even where he was very inactive, being 43 still fighting. Roy Jones, he was fighting since a little kid. He just retired, winning 8 of his last 9 fights. He was winning one of those fights until the 12th round when unfortunately he got caught because his chin isn't the same as it used to be. But to fight to almost 50 from when he started, I think I think Roy Jones is hands down the best pound for pound fighter ever. In my mind, there's no argument. I missed a few here. Oh, not. Or when are you breaking down Fury versus Wilder? I kind of broke it down already a little bit here. I'm not sure I'm doing a promo because I'm not doing the fight. It's too expensive. They want like $80 for it. It's either $75 or $80. I can do kind of a promo on it if you guys want, but the gist of it in my mind is Tyson Fury's been gone too long. I think Dante catches him probably in the later rounds, probably around 8 or 9. And that if Tyson Fury would have had a few more tune-up matches, or they would have fought after Tyson Fury beats Klitschko, I think Tyson Fury wins it. But I just think he has not been back quite long enough. I am a big Benny the Jet Urquidez fan. He was in some of the best martial arts movies ever, too. That guy was crazy fast kicks. Jacare lost his first match by KO, and Rockhold lost his second by TKO. Crazy seeing they both became so elite. Chuck lost his first match in the UFC, too. It was either his first or second. I want to say it was his first. He got submitted by Jeremy Horn in an armbar. Genetics, how would Benny have done against Bruce? I don't think Bruce was a lot more rounded, I think, than a lot of people realize. He definitely was not a novice as far as it came to grappling. His boxing was very good. His kicking was very good. He had a great sweep game. As far as getting people down, I think that he would have been a tough matchup for Benny. Benny's speed would have matched Bruce, if not surpassed just slightly. But I think Bruce had more tools. I wish Lomachenko rematch and beat his one loss. Yeah, that guy retired, though. We can't fight him. Lomachenko is fighting coming up here on the 15th, though, of December, I believe. I definitely will be covering that one. And ESPN Plus is already starting their boxing coverage coming up here soon. So we got some good fights coming up. Mikey Garcia's fighting. And then we'll have Canelo Alvarez. A lot of good boxing matches coming up at the end of the year. Surprise Don the Dragon Wilson never jumped in the cage. Don the Dragon Wilson did. Don the Dragon Wilson was in, I want to say he was in UFC 1, and he was like 49 years old. He fought Hoist Gracie and was submitted quickly. I'm almost positive on that. Jet Li versus Bruce Lee, who wins? Bruce. I think Bruce is more accomplished overall martial artist. The doctor was so scared of a baby Chuck Norris, he did not dare to circumcise him. You're not doing Fury Wilder. Wilder Ortiz was a great stream. Oh, that was really fun. Yeah, I really liked that fight. But it was on Showtime, and this one's on pay-per-view. It's like, that's just too much. I get it, though. It's down. Yeah, that's it. Once you go above, I have a hard time going above 50, but once you go above 60, I'm out. I'm out. Unless there's some generous person that's gonna, one person's gonna donate $75 to pay for the whole pay-per-view. I'm out. It's just too much. I got 2 teenagers. And a large mortgage, and I get all the UFCs as it is. But yeah, there's got to be a cutoff. Benny the Jet, I think, is the most legit. He coined the term kickboxing, I think. I think kickboxing was around quite a bit before that, but I could be wrong. Benny used MMA then too, judo and Greco throws. Even mentioned motion to an armbar after a few throws. His most popular movie, and I cannot think of what it is. I believe he was in it with Jackie Chan, though, and I think you get somebody in an armbar in that movie now that you talk about it. All right, 7. Send me a link. So I may be doing it. Jeremy Horn is underrated for sure. And that speaking as I tried to get a hold of Jeremy Horn today too, actually. I was doing some work because I was on my day off. I messaged him. He said that he would be on the show because I really want to pick his brain about judging because he really kind of set me straight after the DJ Henry Cejudo fight and after why he thought DJ won that fight easily. And he educated me a little bit on the new rules and how I was not using some of them correctly. Sparring with Bruce Lee would have been an epic experience. Oh, for sure. Did you see the Joe Rogan with Jake the Snake podcast? It was great, and I never even watched Jake the Snake. Yeah, that was incredible. I remember Jake the Snake back in the day. And I'll tell you, I'm glad he answered that question because I was a little kid. I want to say, I don't know how old I was, but I'm sure I was in elementary school. I know that. I was watching, it was called WWF at the time. And Randy Savage and Jake the Snake were fighting each other. And Jake's snake, it looked like bit Randy. I believe it was on the chest. It's been so long. And he's bleeding, and I'm thinking at the time, I'm like, God, this is real. I'm like, you can't tell me this isn't real. That snake really bit him. And for years, I was like, man, you know, after I knew 100% when I got a little older that it was staged, I thought, man, it still really looked like that snake bit Randy Savage. And then I was glad that Jake the Snake went into it, that was a devenomized cobra. And it actually did bite Randy Savage. That was part of the show. So that was crazy. Gracie submitted dude with one boxing glove, Shamrock, and Gerard Gordeau in UFC 1. Give me just a second. I got to look that up. I know he fought some movie star. I thought it was Don the Dragon Wilson. In UFC. Yeah, kickboxing legend. Maybe he didn't fight Royce Gracie. Kickboxing legend Don the Dragon Wilson versus UFC 1 veteran. It says Don the Dragon Wilson is a kickboxing legend who beat a lot of tough guys over his storied career, including Maurice Smith. I did not realize that. Dennis Alexio, and even fought UFC 1 veteran Art One Glove Jimerson, which we see here in this video. Wilson had a unique style that was ahead of his time in many ways. He would switch stances with ease and was no stranger to low kicks, which many kickboxers of his time struggled with. They definitely did. His opponent in his kickboxing bout was none other than UFC veteran and boxer Art Jimerson, who was famous for wearing... I guess I'm wrong. Maybe he was cage side. Maybe he was one of the first announcers. God, that's been a long... it's been so long ago. I could have swore that there was... He must have been a commentator then. I could have swore, though, that there was a martial arts action star that fought Royce Gracie in one of the early UFCs. But maybe I'm misremembering. Chuck Norris went to the Virgin Islands. Now they are pregnant. That is good, Jason. Gracie submitted dude with one boxing glove. Yeah, okay. If you got an interview with Mickey Ward, imagine starting it off by you two watching the highlights of the Gotti Ward fights and then going into talking. That would be awesome. Oh, the Black Dragon, UFC 4. Thank you, DG. It was bothering me. What you guys think about MJ versus Roy Jones? That's not going to happen, 7, by the way. As far as I know, the last time I had seen Michael B. Jordan, he mentioned that he'd like to fight Roy Jones. He mentioned that he thought he could fight Roy Jones. And then Roy Jones responded to him. I seen it on Facebook. I'm not sure if it was original on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, but he responded to him that I'm ready to go, and Michael B. Jordan came out with a video and said, hey, maybe I got into character and got a little too excited. I don't want to fight Roy Jones. No, thank you. So I think he got a bit cocky playing that character of Creed. I loved pro wrestling when I was little, and then when I learned it wasn't real, I stopped. I still respect it, but my mind just won't let me get into it now. I really wish that I could get into it. Once I learned, there were years, right around 4th, 5th grade, I would kind of try to talk myself out of things that I had seen. Especially like I would watch some of the lower circuits. We used to get a Portland channel on antenna. Way back we got Portland Wrestling. And I remember seeing a guy was banging somebody else's head against the turnbuckle. And the guy let go and the other guy banged his own head against the turnbuckle like 10 times and fell down. The guy wasn't anywhere near him. And that's when I was like, oh man, I don't know how much longer I can lie to myself, even as a little kid. Who is hotter, Tate or Ronda? Most people would say Misha Tate. I might be a bit biased because I was a big Ronda fan coming out of judo, and my daughter was a big fan of her. But I like them both. I think they're both very attractive. My wife says, watch yourself. Oh, like I'm going to be with either one of them. Maurice Smith was a jerk when he trained my older cousin a long time ago. Really? I really respected Maurice Smith back in the day. He was, I believe, up until a guy did it at the UFC Boise that I was at live here recently. I can't remember the guy's name that knocked a guy off from his back with a back fist. I believe he was the only person before that to knock someone out from his back. I believe he knocked out Mark Coleman with elbows from his back. Definitely hit him with some good ones. But my cousin fought in Australia, and the promotion wouldn't give him his passport back unless he threw the fight. And when he called Maurice to ask what to do, Maurice told him, I guess you must throw it. Really? Wow. That is crazy. So my cousin Adam Russell had to stay in Australia for weeks. Damn. That is. I know there were a lot of thrown fights back in the day. There was a lot of shady stuff that went on in Pride. Unfortunately, that we're never gonna know about. One thing I want to get, and I'm gonna wrap this up here in a few minutes because I gotta eat and get to bed, and I'm sure some of you guys want to be done, but. One thing I wanted to bring up that I didn't know, 1FC, all these fighters are going over there, and I've never watched a full event yet because it's always on so late. For one thing, you can download the 1FC app or go online. All their events are free. But here's the other thing that I didn't know, or maybe I forgot. They have the same rules as Pride and Risen. They allow kicks to the head of a down opponent, knees to the head of a down opponent, and stomps. So that's the world Demetrius Johnson and Eddie Alvarez are going into. So that's going to be interesting to watch. My cousin still respects him. His mom doesn't. He was a beast in the UFC, but yeah, that's a pretty crappy thing. I don't know why you would say something like that. Have you ever seen a blatantly fixed MMA fight and then never heard anything about it afterwards? Definitely in Pride, there were definitely ones I think that were fixed. There's been people that have admitted that some of the Bob Sapp fights were fixed. They didn't say which ones. So I don't know, but that kind of makes sense. I would assume, I have a hard time believing that he beat Ernesto Hoost twice, but maybe he did. I don't know. He's a big guy. Have you seen a worse call than Kevin Randleman versus Boss Root in UFC? I don't remember that fight, to be honest. I'd have to look it up. That must have been way back. I've always watched UFC from the beginning, and then I would say from like 2005 to now. There was probably a time when I was really busy at work. I would say between like 2000 and maybe even 2008, where I didn't watch hardly any TV at all. I was a career-driven idiot. Wasted a lot of time on, people that didn't care about me. But I'm back in it now. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that fight. Dang it, brother, I'm here. Got caught up in a basketball game. Damn, Robert Christian, you were right up there on the leaderboard before we started tonight, too. I had brought up the leaderboard. You were tied for second with Jason, 2,000 points. Jason won week 1, Trotty Dog week 2. JT won this one. I'm still counting up the points on him. He's over 4,900 though. It was ridiculous. You should watch it back. It was pretty impressive. He did a great job. But it's how many weeks you win. Whoever wins the most weeks will get the trophy, and then the points are the tiebreaker. That's going to be the tiebreaker if like 2 people each win 3 games, or however you do it. But I tried to have it as late as possible for everybody. I got to be up at 3, so I'm actually just about to wrap this thing up. But boss won off his back with elbow and open hand smackaroonies. I'm going to have to check that out. My cousin doesn't blame him too much. Maurice didn't have much money to spend on getting him back. Yeah, a lot of those guys, they weren't fighting for much of anything. I mean, you imagine the first UFCs, at least those first 4. And all those guys, go back to UFC 2. And there were 16 contestants. You had to win 4 times. And the winner got 50 G's. First one was 50 G's. I think they might have went to 6. They went to 60. It was like around 2, 3, or 4. I'm not sure which one it was, but still. What is everybody else getting paid? Almost nothing. And that's something I should have asked Art Davey when he was on the show. I'm not sure if that's an appropriate question to ask, but my cousin ended up losing a decision to the Australian dude. Oh, damn. Is it Red Panty Night 4? I don't know about that. But I did want to ask some of you guys, though, if I had the link up, and they're on Daily Motion, I'll tell you right now. All the Bruce Lee movies are on Daily Motion. I've bought it on DVD several times. I know I own the Blu-ray, but whatever, I couldn't find it. So me and young David and my daughter ended up watching Enter the Dragon a couple nights ago on dailymotion.com. The quality was great. It was like 1080p, no lag or anything. They have all the Bruce Lee movies on there. I think if it would be funnest to watch like really cheesy martial arts movies. So probably Chinese Connection and Fists and Fury, where there's the bad dubbing. I think I'm going to do at least one movie companion. Try to get everybody in. Maybe do like 30 minutes talk or something like that before we start it, and then have the link up on Daily Motion so everybody can watch the movie for free, and then everybody can comment on how cheesy it is. We can have some drinks together. So it'll have to be after my after my New Year's thing. After my weight loss thing, which my eating's been going good, and the weight's not coming off as quick as I would like, but it's okay, my brother, my apologies. I got the dang NBA League Pass, so I'd be watching 5 games all at the same time, flipping back and forth. Damn, have a good night, JT. Thanks for playing, man. Congratulations. That would be awesome, said Jason. I'll make popcorn. And we did make popcorn out of the old school air popper. If you guys do the microwave popcorn, The old school air popper so much better. And then melt the butter and drizzle it on there. Or you can skip the butter or not have as much, if a little bit of salt or something. You want to be a little healthier. What's up, Geeky Spartan? Enter the Dragon was a masterpiece. Bruce in one scene had the gloves on like they wear in MMA. He was so ahead of his time. Yeah, that's what a lot of people forget. So the first scene of Enter the Dragon, you got to go back and watch it. He was wearing MMA gloves. He was wearing what look open-handed gloves that look exactly like what they wear in the UFC today. And he gets a guy in an armbar in the opening scene of Enter the Dragon. So like I said, I definitely think he would have done well and competed well. And that was a masterpiece of the movie. That's probably the only one that really stands up today. I still can enjoy watching Game of Death and Return of the Dragon with Bruce Lee. Oh, by the way, before we go, I have a correction to make, like in Jeopardy when they do it between the commercials. I had a question when I did the MMA movies, the last one on Liddell versus Ortiz. I don't know if anybody's in here right now, but I'm going to have to take some points away from somebody, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Let me see here. Only Bruce Lee movie. This Bruce Lee movie was the only film that starred Bruce alongside Chuck Norris. 200 points. Somebody said Way of the Dragon. I can't remember who it was. And Way of the Dragon was another name for Return of the Dragon. They released it in some countries under Way of the Dragon. And they got it before the Bruce Wayne character. So if anybody comes back on that, take JT's points. Border Fox. Yeah, JT, you got to sit out a game. I don't know what the deal is. Use some slower internet or something. No. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming in with us on this night. I know it was kind of impromptu. I didn't give you guys a whole lot of notice, but a lot of you showed up, so thank you. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys soon. We got a lot of stuff coming up here this weekend. We got Friday Ultimate Fighter finale and a Saturday UFC. And you have a Bellator on Friday too, so we might do a little bit of flipping in there. So big weekend coming up. As always, I love you, I respect you, and I'll see your fine asses later.